Just the other day, the city project for the Weaponsmith Workshop was completed. And like when all of the other city projects got completed, we got a brand new content update to go with it. This content update actually has a lot of good future implications for the game, adding in a really streamlined system for starter items, bringing in a brand new short bow into the game, and also indirectly buffing every single bow in the game, but especially the JuJu bow and the Terminator bow. But before we do get started with the video, please do consider leaving a like and subscribing if you have seen other videos like this, or you do end up enjoying this video and it helps you out. Keep in mind, subscribing is always free, and you can always unsubscribe later if I start making trash videos. Also, consider joining the Discord. We'll be doing giveaways, and you can ask me questions like what my mod pack and resource pack are. Thanks for sticking through that. With all that out of the way, for those of you who are here for the actual video, let's get straight into it. The first NPC I want to talk about in this video is going to be the Rosetta NPC. This NPC streamlines the experience of starter gear for new players in the game, and also makes it significantly easier for playing Iron Man to have a more variety of sets. It also added 2 mage sets into the game, which adds a really good magic option into the game for new people. For the first 2 sets we're going to have here, we're going to have Iron Armor with Growth 1. This is extremely simple, but also extremely cheap. You've then got Rosetta Armor, which is slightly more expensive. After these 2 armors, it splits up into a tree where it goes to the Mercenary category and then goes to the Mage side category. For the Mercenary category, we've got Squire Armor, which is a fairly decent set of armor that you can see right here. It's fairly cheap and it's fairly good for what it does. The next set of armor is going to be the Mercenary Armor, which is significantly better but also significantly more expensive. The one benefit that this armor has is it has a full set bonus that's completely unique called Death Tax. It gives you 5 coins on a kill and also heals you. The one thing I'm thinking this may be good for is for early game players grinding combat XP on Crypt Ghouls. You could earn slightly more money while grinding Crypt Ghouls for a while. The next set of armor are going to be the Celeste set and the Starlight set. The Celeste set gives essentially nothing for doing damage with physical weapons, but gives defense, intelligence, and health, which are all good for using mage weapons like the Celeste one, which is also added to the game. The Celeste one does a lightning strike up to 10 blocks away and does damage depending on how much intelligence you have. For me, it says 228, but it's in reality does about 800 damage. The next set is going to be the Starlight set, which is way more expensive than the Celeste set, but gives you a lot more intelligence, a lot more defense, and a lot more health. This one also adds in the Starfall wand, which does similar damage to the lightning rod, but has an area of effective damage for 5 seconds, and with the full set of Starlight on, it actually has an area of effect for about 10 seconds, which is a long time. Overall, this is a great addition to the game and largely streamlines the beginning of the game for new players. The next NPC that was added into the game is going to be Jax, and this is the one main NPC where contributing to the city project is going to help you the most. In fact, I actually can't do anything with Jax myself until September 9th. What Jax does though is he adds in 10 brand new arrows. You may have noticed when looking in your quiver that all of your arrows are now flint arrows. This is because they added a bunch of new arrows into the game, which I'm going to show up on the screen right now. This may seem like a small change at first, but actually has some massive implications for the game. This is because all of these arrows have a very nice special ability, but even better than that, they also do a lot more damage than a flint arrow. Before, arrows didn't actually do any damage, so this is literally going to be making weapons like the JuJu and Terminator Bow do more damage. For example, the arrow that comes to mind is going to be the Icy Arrow, which does 24 extra damage. 24 extra damage doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're using the Terminator Bow and the JuJu Bow, and it's scaling with all of the stats you have like strength and crit damage, this weapon is literally going to be upping the damage stat by about 7 to 8%, making both the Terminator and the JuJu Bow do about 7 to 8% more damage. Just using Icy Arrows is literally better than adding Hot Potato books to your weapon. Honestly, this could end up being an insane buff for bow users, but I'm sure we'll learn more about it in the future. Getting all the arrows with Jax isn't as easy as just clicking on him and going to the shop. In fact, you're going to need to do some target training in this room here. The easiest way to do this target training is going to be picking up the Artisanal Bow. The Artisanal Bow is now a bow sold by the Weaponsmith for only 600 coins. This is the 3rd short bow in the game, being next to the Terminator Bow and JuJu Bow. Fortunately for all of you with Terminators and JuJu Bows, the Artisanal Bow actually is very, very bad. It only has a base stat of 40 damage, but does have the unique advantage of shooting instantly like the Terminator and JuJu Bow. This bow may be very bad, but it does have one unique use, and that's for doing the target training with with jacks down below. Since the bow can shoot instantly, you can do the target training fairly easily and unlock all the arrows for yourself. Not only this, but if you're doing Rev Slayers, this bow is also fairly nice for clearing out Crypt Ghouls instead of using a bow like the Runan's bow if you wanted to, and you didn't want to spend 20 to 30 mil on a JuJu bow. And that's the brand new Weaponsmith update. This is a pretty significant update for everybody in the game with the addition of brand new arrows, and is a really good update for early game players and Iron Man players as well with the brand new starter gear sets. It may not be the biggest update in this game, but it does have pretty big implications for the rest of the game. If you enjoyed this video or it helped you out, like I said before, please consider subscribing. It helps out so much more than you think. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.